Some good stuff.
Yeah.
And also, we will learn how we can get a private school education in a public school. That's not too bad, is it?
It's very timely.
Perfect for now.
Yes.
Let's get started with this. Don't go away. Good company's coming up right now.
From the Twin Cities, it's Good Company. With your hosts, Steve Edelman and Sharon Anderson. With field host Gary Lumpkin and bargain hunter Vicki Odette. And now, your hosts, the husband and wife team, Steve and Sharon.
Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon to you, too. Thank you very much.
What a great crowd here today.
Oh, it is. It's good. And welcome to Good Company. I'm Gary Lumpkin, and this is Angela Astore from Eyewitness News. Good afternoon.
Thank you. It's nice to be here today.
Yeah, well, it is nice to have you with us. You have filled in before. Steve and Sharon are taking some time off, kind of extended. You know, Labor Day weekend was 3 days for most of us, but somehow they're smarter than the rest of us. They were able to extend it to a little vacation time.
We'll have to learn their secret.
That's right. But they deserve that, and gearing up for the fall season coming up, so a little time off is good for everybody. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So you have now been with us, Angela, before on Eyewitness News. How many times have you worked on the show?
Well, I've only been here probably a week total at different times. A day here, a day there. So I'm counting on you to lead the way here.
Oh, good. That's perfect, isn't it? Yeah, I'll lead the way, huh? Okay, we'll just... that's the way we'll figure it out as we go along.
Good. Well, it'll be fun.
But this is just like doing the news, isn't it?
No.
It's not like doing the news?
No.
You mean you don't make it up as you go along in the news?
No, we don't make up the news, Gary.
Oh, well... Unbelievable. I thought, see, I learned something today, too, as well.
Well, that's why we're here.
I tell you what, we are going to learn some stuff today, including the next man we're going to meet. His name is Tony Robbins. Now, we had Tony on our show, about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years ago, and we're going to show you some tape of that a little later. Just to give you an idea of what Tony does, we do have one picture that will kind of demonstrate Tony's unusual, well, what he is doing right there is walking with his pants leg rolled up, barefoot, on a hot bed of coals. It's about 2,000 degrees, and he has gained notoriety all over the country, in fact, around the world, as a fire walker, teaching people how to overcome, not really teaching them how to walk on fire, but how to overcome personal obstacles and barriers, such as maybe the fear of fire and stuff like that. He has now come out with a new book. It's called Unlimited Power, that kind of capsulizes the essence of firewalking and a number of other points in a very logical and systematic format.
And in many of his seminars, he actually teaches people to walk across the hot coals. I mean, people do it.
That's right. Right there in front of our cameras, people did it here in the Twin Cities not too long ago. He's touring the country now talking about his book. Will you please welcome Tony Robbins. Hi, Tony. Nice to see you again. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's interesting, this firewalking demonstration. It has attracted a lot of media attention, but that's not the real reason that you gather people together at these seminars.
No, actually, firewalking is something that I used as a way to give people a direct experience of taking fear and being able to turn it around and take action in spite of it. In my book and in my seminars for the last 3 years, I've been teaching people a way of changing any fear in a short period of time known as NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Very fancy word for some very simple techniques that basically are the result of some of the greatest scientific breakthroughs in how to change people's emotions and behaviors, how to break through fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the dentist, fear of whatever that stops you. And I used to teach them in a seminar, and at the end people would be all fired up and excited, and they were intellectualizing it. So one of the things that I taught was that anything anybody can do, you can duplicate. That is, if you take similar kinds of mental actions and physical actions, you can do anything. Change the way your relationships work, change your finances, change your emotion, change your weight. You just need to find a strategy for success and duplicate it. So the firewalk became a dramatic metaphor that what I was saying was really true. And it was not designed to teach people how to walk on fire, but to be a metaphor that if they've learned all this stuff, now they get to apply it in a situation that definitely created fear. and where they could then turn around and in spite of fear take action. And to me, that is the major thing that holds people back. We all got goals and dreams and passions and desires, but then we get disappointed, we get frustrated, we get financial pressure, we get people saying it can't happen, and what happens for a lot of people is they develop the fears that stop them, and this book gives them a very simple, systematic way to immediately change fears. Even phobias that they've had for a lifetime can be taken care of in 5 minutes to an hour.
You talk a lot about modeling, which I think is very interesting, how you pick someone who has achieved great success and you model your life after them. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Certainly. I believe that whatever result someone creates in their life, whether it be positive or negative, that they created it by how they think and how they behave. And I grew up very poor, and as a result, I wanted to do well financially. And I worked very hard for years and years and years and never did that. My father worked hard. We had a lot of emotional problems at our family because there wasn't enough money for food at times, and that created stress. And about 4 years ago, I found myself in a position where I was broke emotionally, meaning physically run down, emotionally run down, spiritually disconnected, meaning not feeling, that connection when I met people, broke financially, living in a 400 square foot bachelor apartment, washing my dishes in the bathtub, and gaining weight like crazy. My major goal was what was I going to eat that day, and would Luke and Laura survive on General Hospital, And where I was is I changed that, number one, by getting disgusted enough I wanted to change, and number two, by modeling. That is, doing how we all learn. All of us learned how to speak the English language, not in school, but by modeling or copying or duplicating our environment. Unfortunately, many of us copied some of the insecurities of our environment. We copied some of the negative patterns of behavior that we had. So what I teach in the book is how to go out and duplicate someone. So I was fat. I found people like me who'd been fat and become thin. And instead of just copying their diet, I found out how they looked at food. And I started programming in, using this system, that same way of looking at food so that chocolate now tasted like cough syrup to me. And I did that in about 15 or 20 minutes. That's totally turned me around physically. I lost 30 pounds.
Wait a minute.
I did the same thing financially.
I want to stop you right there for just a second because I like chocolate. There's no way I can tell myself that chocolate tastes like cough syrup. I mean,
you can't tell yourself, but you can program yourself. Look, when you tell people you can take a lifetime phobia and 5 minutes to an hour yourself change it forever, immediately people go, no way. They say, look, change is hard, no pain, no gain, all those things that we've been programmed to believe. But the truth is, change can happen in a few seconds. Pepsi-Cola knows that. They just hired Michael Jackson. They're paying him $15 million for 180 seconds of his time. And they're going to reprogram the culture with him. And the way they do it is very simple. They use the same techniques that Ivan Pavlov used. Do you remember when you studied Ivan Pavlov in school?
The salivating dogs?
Yeah, he's got the dogs. They haven't eaten. He puts food in front of them, stimulates them into a state of hunger. While they're feeling these feelings, he rings a bell, rings a bell, rings a bell, until pretty soon he can take the meat away. Those feelings are associated to that sound. It triggers it automatically. Well, what do they do with Michael Jackson? They play his music. For a lot of people in the country, it makes them feel very good, and at the peak of that feeling, they go, Pepsi. They show his face, Pepsi. They show him dancing, Pepsi. Until when you look at Pepsi, you associate the same feelings you had for Michael Jackson. That's why he's worth $15 million, even though he doesn't use the product. So you can do the same for anything in your life. You can take that same stress that watches you and causes you to automatically reach for food, or cigarettes, or alcohol, or whatever, and program it so now it makes you automatically, not positive thinking, automatically
Give me a
reach for
specific
something
technique,
else.
if you would, kind of something specific in those types of avoidances that you would want to program yourself.
Okay, let's take let's say somebody's got a major challenge with a particular type of food. And every time they see that food, they're just really addicted, and it's out of control, and it doesn't support their goals.
Okay, we'll pick up an arbitrary person, and we'll pick chocolate chip cookies. Okay. I can't imagine who that could be, but...
That arbitrary person.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
The first key is that person really has to want to change it. It can't be something they're going, well, I'd like to change. It has to be something they really want. Okay. If that's true and you've screened that, then the second thing that you do with a person is you take something they absolutely cannot stand, something they detest. So for my wife, chocolate was what she loved, and what she detested was squid. So all I had to do was have her associate squid to that by bringing squid and actually have her have some chocolate, see the chocolate, smell the chocolate, then smell the squid. See the chocolate, smell the chocolate, then smell the squid. Have her imagine eating the squid and then eating the chocolate, mixing them together until I created enough of an association that when she sees chocolate, it gives her this sick feeling in her stomach. It's a very simple process, can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes, depending upon the person. But there are dozens of ways. There's no one technique that is a cure-all. There's no magic bullet for creating human change. But there are ways to accelerate the process. And how these techniques that we wrote about in Unlimited Power came about is 2 researchers went out and found the best change artists in the world, therapists, business people, and found out what did they do that made that happen.
Let me interrupt you just for a second before we finish with that, because we want to take a break, and we'll come right back, okay?
Certainly.
We'll have more with Tony right after this. Don't go away.
When you're 4 years old and new to this country, a trip to Cub Foods can be a bit overwhelming. So much is unfamiliar. But Cub's size does have its advantages, like variety.
Oh, I wonder what these are.
Oh, those are Korean noodles.
Do you remember these? You do. Would you like these for supper tonight?
Cub Foods, big enough to stock the familiar and the not so familiar. It's a new way to run a supermarket.
The hours some dentists keep are enough to make you grind your teeth. But now, Great Teeth has opened at Sears, so it's easier than ever to get an appointment. Great Teeth is open 7 days a week with the same convenient hours as Sears. And you can charge your visits on your Sears or other major credit cards. Great Teeth Dental Center, located at Sears. We give you something to smile about.
We specialize in orthodontic care.
All right. All right, White Mop, good job. White Mop, all right, all right.
It was great, the feeling of strength and empowerment, just like I'm whole, you know, and I think that's just what it's all about.
It was really simple. It wasn't hard at all.
Was it hot?
No, I didn't feel it at all.
That was some tape. There's Tony Robbins, the man that just put those people through what you just saw. They were walking on hot coals about a year and a half ago right here in the Twin Cities. I was covering that story. I saw it happen. We had the tape story right there. Proof that the mind can overcome the seemingly impossible 2,000-degree colds. But you have a question for Tony.
Yeah, I have a question. How does your program work on drug-addicted people? Have you used it where the effect of the drug is what people are after and not consuming the drug?
Let me answer that in a general way as well as a specific way. People who are on drugs are trying to do something that I think most of Americans are trying to do, and that is change the state of their mind and body. Most of us don't feel good at times. Some of us use alcohol as a drug. Some of us use cigarettes. Some of us use food, and some of us use drugs. Once we begin to use that thing to change how we feel, oftentimes the problem is we become addicted to the very way we wanted to change things. And the way in which we change that is using the same techniques. We take people twice a year off the streets. We do a 2-week seminar for psychiatrists, psychologists, and we go get street people. Last year we picked this man up who was eating garbage out of the back of a Pizza Hut trash can. We brought him in. At 8 years old, this man was shot up with heroin by his own father. Got him totally addicted. He's lived in the streets for 7 years of his life. He has no model, if you will, of how to succeed or how he could change his life. He threatened to kill several of my staff members. We offered to have him come and feed him, and he just got very outrageous because he still had the residue of the drugs in his body. We brought him to the front of the room. We have the whole thing on videotape, and an hour later, this man is a totally different human being. Today, it's been almost a year. Man has his own job, and he works to get other people off the street, and he's totally away from drugs. Now, he did have to go detox for 4 days to get the drugs out of his body, but everything since then has been reprogramming his mind, giving himself a new direction, a new sense of contribution to other people that's motivated him to continue to take care of himself. He's getting that state change, but instead of from drugs, he's getting it from contribution. And that's a much more healthy way to change how we feel.
That's phenomenal. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Angela.
Elaine from St. Paul has a question for Tony.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to end an addiction to overeating, but I wouldn't want to be repulsed by food.
Right.
So how would that work?
There's a different technique for that. I was taking a specific food that maybe you want to be repulsed from. There's a technique called a swish pattern, which I teach in my book, which is a way of linking, like for example, I used to bite my fingernails. And it was an uncontrollable response. I wasn't aware of it. I don't know if you notice when you're eating, you probably don't even realize at the moment that you're overeating. You don't know when to stop. I didn't realize I was biting my fingernails. So this technique requires you to simply make a picture of doing the behavior you want to stop. So I see my fingers coming up to my lips. You see yourself starting to overeat. And then you link it to a new command in your mind, a new picture of seeing yourself knowing when to stop, or me knowing when to stop biting my fingernails, not to bite them, and seeing myself the way I'd be attracted to myself, the way I'd be proud of myself. And you link it by seeing how you are now and then seeing this change, seeing how you are now, seeing this change. And you link it enough times so that as soon as I started bringing my fingers to my lips, instantly my brain fired off a picture of putting my hands away, standing tall, and feeling good about myself. So I didn't have to remember this when I was biting my fingernails. My brain did it automatically. Just as automatically as I used to bite. Now you could use the same technique, and a lot of people have used it, to stop overeating. Not so you're repulsed by food, but so you get a comfortable amount that supports you into having a healthy lifestyle.
Just by having that picture.
Yeah, because what we do is our brains are always moving in a direction. And whatever we think about affects how we feel and how we behave. And if you can trigger in your mind a new direction for your thoughts, it'll cause your behaviors to follow suit. In other words, like in the firewalk, if somebody imagines the worst thing that could happen, like burning, they're going to go in a state where they're afraid and they're not going to walk. But if we have them imagine right before they walk, seeing themselves doing it successfully and what they'd say and how they'd feel, and we link that so the minute they see the coals, they feel those feelings, then they walk instantly. And so that's the metaphor for life. The very thing that stopped you now becomes the trigger to cause you to create the results you really want. You're welcome.
We have one other question here. This is Helen. You have a question.
Yes, about this awful habit of having to have 3-4 cups of coffee in the morning before you get going.
Yes, I understand.
You want to beat the coffee habit?
Want to beat the coffee habit.
Well, one of the things that I teach in the book is anything that we're attracted to, there's a reason for it. It's the way we look at it or talk to ourselves about it in our mind. And you can reprogram it differently. Like you may talk to yourself one way about coffee and picture coffee in your mind a certain way, and you might look at lard a different way. And we can show you how to associate coffee to lard. Also, the other thing you could do that I could recommend to you right now, even without the book, is coffee is a very acid addiction. It makes your bloodstream more acidic. If you'll drink something like carrot juice or carrot celery juice, fresh, that's very alkaline. And what it does is when your body becomes more alkaline, you have less of an addiction for acid things like cigarettes or alcohol or coffee. So that's something else. In the book, I talk about physical health as well, because if you don't feel good physically, you're not going to think right anyway. So you need to work on both.
Okay. So what kind of juice again was that?
Carrot celery juice or carrot juice. They're very alkaline.
Oh, well, that isn't too bad.
No, 3 or 4 cups of carrot celery juice.
You could program it so you loved it.
Good for the night vision, too.
Might be. Who knows?
Okay, good.
I'm blind in one eye and can't see out of the other anyway.
Well, there you go. I'm with you, Helen. Angela.
We have another question over here. Go ahead.
I would like to say to Tony, first I want to say that you really enlightened my spirit.
Thank you.
You made me want to live. And I want to say that in your previous statement, I understand you said that you was a model.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a model too. But when I was modeling, I was the size I wanted to be. But after I quit, I began to gain weight. Mm-hmm. And like you said in your previous statement, I look at the way sometimes I would gain and I didn't like myself. And I said, the very thing that really getting this weight on me, I'm not going to fool with it.
Right.
But yet and still, I would like to know what I can do to kill that appetite.
We don't want to kill your appetite. We want your appetite to
But
be
I mean, you know, to overeating.
The same technique I mentioned to her will work, but let me offer you something about your future, because you don't seem to be as happy as you could be about your future, and I could offer this to everyone.
You're absolutely right.
Okay. If you'd like to in the audience, you can try something very simple, real quick. I just want to show you how what you do in your mind affects your body. If you would, close your eyes for a moment and make a picture about your future. Just imagine your future. Make a picture of it if you can. Anything at all that represents your future. And then with your eyes closed, make that picture brighter, much brighter. Actually, as if you're turning a television knob, make it really, really bright. Raise your hand if the future feels better as you do this. Raise your hand nice and high so I can see, if you would. Very nice. Now, try this. Imagine your future and make it very dark. Make the picture of your future very dark and very dim. Raise your hand if your future doesn't feel quite as positive now. If you would, raise your hand so I can see. So a good number of you. And then make the brightness back again. We want to leave it as a bright future. Brighten it way back up. And then open your eyes. Now, have you ever heard somebody say something like, you got a bright future? It makes you feel pretty good. How do you feel if they say you got a dark future? What you do in your mind, whether your pictures are bright, whether they're big, makes a difference in how you feel. If you take a problem and in your mind you make it big, you feel overwhelmed by it. If you take that same problem and shrink it down, it doesn't have the same intensity in your feeling or emotion. Something else you might want to try if you can. If you'd stand up just for a second, let me just show you something that I think will grab your attention. If you'd like to do this in the audience, please do. What you do is take your finger and point it, stand straight up, and take your finger and point it straight ahead with your feet straight together. And what I want you to do is just turn as far as you can turn comfortably and notice where your finger stops. Just go ahead without turning your legs, just turn and see where you stop comfortably. Without hurting yourself, just turn as far as you can turn comfortably. Take your finger out of their nose, it's okay. Okay, and then come back, and we're going to try something really simple. Close your eyes and do something very simple. Just change in your mind and imagine going much further in your mind. Actually feel as if you're turning. Don't turn really, but feel as if you're turning much further. Go ahead and do that in your mind. Don't turn, but feel like you're turning much further. And then do it again and go even further so it feels easy and you can go twice as far. In your mind, feel it. Now open your eyes and do it again, and this time go as far as you can go comfortably and watch what the difference is. Go ahead, go as far as you can comfortably. How many of you find you can go much further? Raise your hand so I can see if you can. Much further, very nice. So you can go ahead and have a seat. My point of this is very simple. And that is that what we do in our minds oftentimes sets even our physical limitations, things we don't think we can do. By directing our minds and setting up what we want in advance with clarity, by developing a passion, a goal, a way to set ourselves up so that we can succeed, we literally begin to change not only the way we feel, but the way we behave long term. And what Unlimited Power is about is having you be able to embrace your fears, embrace the things that stop you, find out what you want, and take action in spite of it so that you literally reprogram your mind to support you instead of limiting you.
Okay, once again, that's Tony Robbins here visiting around the country. You have a seminar, an institute, I believe, in California, or, well, not in California, but there's a number I believe we're going to flash up. If you want more information about, there it is, the Robbins Research Institute, 619-259-0888. Give you more information about this. In the meantime, the book is called Unlimited Power. Tony Robbins, thank you very much.
I thought, I've got to go on a diet again. I'll starve, I'll try pills or powders, then I'll do what I always do, gain it all back. Then I thought, no, it's going to be different this time. I'm going to Diet Center. No drugs, no gimmicks. I lost the weight, and they're helping me keep it off. See? Can be different. Diet Center. Come on, you're going to make it this time.
See Diet Center for a free consultation. Fashion comes alive in magnificent yarns from Ram Wools. Ram Wools, the Twin Cities' finest yarn boutique in the Wyman Building, 400 First Avenue North.
In just a moment, we're going to be sharing with you some household hints, that is, some tips that our viewers have sent us to make our lives a little easier. But first, Gary has something.
That's right, we do, Angela, thank you. It's our first super bargain of the day, and our first super bargain today is a super photo finishing deal. Now, the photo finishing deal is coming to us from the folks of Photo Mill. There you're looking at one of the 5 locations in the Twin Cities right now. They're offering our viewers a super deal on photo finishing. They have all of the things that you need for your photography needs. Here's the super bargain man with the details.
The deal they're offering us is on film processing. It's a perfect time. Labor Day was 2 days ago. I know I took a lot of pictures. Anyway, the deal they're offering us is on film processing. You bring in your film. You have 2 different sizes of prints to choose from, either a 3.5 by 5 1/4 or 4 by 6. Both have a high gloss finish. Price will vary a little bit depending on the number of prints and the size you do have made, but it's a great deal to have your pictures developed for half price.
Wonder if you took any pictures of that pink bow tie. I don't know. Well, anyway, the deal is color prints developing photo finishing. It was $4.59 and up, once again, depending on the number of prints. It is now 50% off today and tomorrow at any of the 5 locations around the Twin Cities. Those are the Photo Mill Southtown, Southdale Square, Country Village, Village North, and Burnhaven Mall. So, for today and tomorrow, if you have some pictures you want developed, go into the Photo Mill and ask for the Good Company Super Bargain and save 50%. Good idea?
Look back on all the summer fun.
Oh, don't say that. This summer isn't over yet, is it? Not a real response there. Say no. No. There you go. That's what I like. Give me a good, yeah, no. All right. We can do some firewalking here ourselves.
Tony Robbins would say it's all in the mind,
it's
right?
all in the mind, that's right.
Well, we're going to talk about some household hints right now. And first of all, this may seem to be an ordinary candle, correct?
It looks like an ordinary candle to me.
But actually, it is an earring holder. And that is the idea from Mrs. Armin Ludke from Grantsburg, Wisconsin. And she says, what you can do is take pierced earrings, which usually end up scattered all over the dresser, and just stick it in the wax. And it holds it very easily, and it's all organized. And when you need them, you just put them out, put them in your ear.
That's kind of cute.
And by Christmas, you have kind of a Christmas candle.
Yeah, it is. It's always kind of with enough earrings in there.
Very decorative, isn't it?
Yeah, I have trouble keeping my earrings paired up. So I can see that this would be a good idea.
Perfect for you.
A perfect idea, yes. Here's another idea. Now, don't you just hate, as Andy Rooney would say, don't you just hate when you open your can of Coke and you put or any kind of soft drink you may have, and you put your straw in, and the straw kind of, wiggles around and all that kind of stuff? Well, there is a solution to that, thanks to us from Mary Beth Kinzer of White Bear Lake. Now, make this close where you can have a look at here. You can see there we go, the pop top there. She says, take your straw and put it through the bottom ring. You see it going in there, and now down into the container, and then when you push the ring back forward, there we go. Now, the straw doesn't move around nearly as much. Of course, you spill a little of the soda as you demonstrate it, but that doesn't matter because now your straw has its own little straw holder using the own pop top there.
Yeah, good idea.
Mary Beth Kinzer. Thanks, Mary Beth.
This is a great idea, I think, because I always have this problem. When you sweep up dirt in the house, you put the dirt in the dustpan, and of course, as you go to dump it out, not all of the dust gets into the garbage can. It ends up on the floor or it sticks to the dustpan.
It happens to me all the time, Angela.
Well, this is going to be a solution for you. Roxanne Creamer of Boyd, Minnesota says you just take a little of this turtle wax, which is car wax.
Turtle wax like that? Okay.
Just put a coat of it on your dustpan, like so. Maybe you're not supposed to put quite that much, but
that's a good idea.
This is just a demonstration. Then when you go to pick it up and you... Wait a minute. It's not supposed to do this.
The dust didn't slide off, Angela.
Wait a minute. Well, it's supposed to say, it says the dust and the dirt will slide off easily. Did I do something wrong, you think?
Oh, Angela, are you just playing? Is this your little trick here?
Maybe you're not supposed to use, this is actually
maybe
soil.
Actually it's a little too much wax, maybe.
Could be, yes. That's true.
What you could do...
Probably a thinner coat of wax.
Take your candle on the side that you don't have your... maybe candle wax was the kind of wax you were supposed to use. I don't know.
Well...
It doesn't do much for your earrings or the candle.
I think that was my mistake. A little too much wax so that the dirt stuck to the dustpan.
Maybe Roxanne will follow up with another letter. Well, you have a solution for us?
Well, I think you have to leave it.
Buff it?
Right.
Ah,
yes.
Okay. One of our members of the audience, I don't know if you could hear that or not, says you have to actually, you'll have the shiniest dustpan in captivity right here.
The floor and everything else will be filthy, but the dustpan will be clean.
Bring this to a nice high gloss, and the dust won't even dare to stay on this pan. No wonder. Well, anyway, we have time for one more? Okay. This we have comes to us from Donna Lloyd in Bloomington. And she says, you got your potted plant, but it slides around on the table a little bit too much, and you don't really care for it doing that. Yeah, and it's not any fun. Well, what you can do is take, right here, these are corn pads. There we are, that you might, see where we're going with this, huh? Okay. You take the corn pad off the little corn pad holder guy, and just stick it onto the bottom, maybe one or maybe two, depending on how many corns you have, I suppose, and how many of these pads you can afford to give up. Put them on there like that, and now I dare you to try to slide that. I mean, you could push this thing. It won't slide. I'm gonna how hard do you try to push it?
I have done that before, and it's great because you don't want to scratch your countertops with these pots.
No, this pad...
And it does protect.
It won't slide at all. Thanks to us from Donna Lloyd in Bloomington. Well, these are just some of the ideas that people send to us.
Yeah, we
and we read them all, too. That's right. We like to have you be a part of our show and send us some ideas. And if you have a household hint you think would be appropriate for us, send it to us. Household Hints, care of Good Company, KSTP-TV, 3415 University Avenue, St. Paul, 55114. And we'll try to use it. And if we do, you might just win a valuable prize, or you might just have to endure the embarrassment of us making fun of your hint within your neighborhood. Who knows, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Serve tacos at home that taste like they came from a fine Mexican restaurant?
Si Ortega!
Can you get crispy taco shells made from fresh corn instead of processed corn flour?
Si Ortega!
And a chunky taco salsa with the flavor of sun-ripened tomatoes, fresh onions, and fire-roasted chilies?
Si Ortega!
Yes, for the taste of authentic Mexican food, Si Ortega.
Si Ortega! Si Ortega! Si Ortega!
Great news! We've turned on a new, more powerful radio station, playing all music and all memories. It's Magic 108 FM. Magic 108, featuring great love songs and all your favorites from the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Magic 108, now with a new, rich stereo signal. All music, all memories, and less talk. Turn your FM dial up to 108 and try the new Magic. Magic 108 FM.
Well, thank you very much for joining with us and staying with us, because we are going to talk about fall fashions as bargain hunter Vicki Audette joins us in just a minute. But before that, it is time for our second super bargain of the day, and this is a super entertainment deal from the folks at the Carlton Celebrity Room in Bloomington. Now, they have got a deal. In fact, there's the Carlton Room right now. A deal, well, Superman will tell us.
Carlton Celebrity Room is offering us a deal on tickets to John Schneider. Now, John Schneider is formerly of the TV show The Dukes of Hazzard. He's now an MCA recording artist and up-and-coming country music star. And it's a 2-for-1 deal on tickets, 2 tickets for the price of 1. So call a friend, come on out, and enjoy a great show.
It is going to be a great show, because John Schneider's performance and dinner for this Friday and Saturday, September 5th and 6th, was $28.95. It's now 2-for-1 today and tomorrow. Now, you must call for reserved tickets. So even though the show is not until Friday or Saturday, you must call today or tomorrow to take advantage of this 2-for-1 super bargain. The Carlton is located in Bloomington. There's the phone number for reservations, 854-9300. And, of course, when you call and ask for those John Schneider tickets, tell them you are taking advantage of the Good Company super bargain, and they will give you the 2-for-1 deal. Good deal and a good show. And now joining us is bargain hunter Vicki Audette on the couch with Angela.
Thank you, Gary. I don't know if you are like I am, but it seems like this time of year you go to your closet, the season has changed or is changing, and you think you have nothing but summer things to wear, or you need to spruce up the fall wardrobe, and you think, boy, I wore that last year, I want something new. But you can't spend a lot of money because you already have clothes in the closet. So you're going to give us some ideas on how to get a nice fall wardrobe for less money, right?
Of course, always, always for less money. You know what, Angela, though, I think if you're headed out to do some fall shopping, you've got several different types of places that you can shop according to your budget and still put together a very good fall look. Now, what I'm doing today is I'm combining all kinds of shopping outlets that are going to save you money no matter where you go. Now, the first one I want to show is a second-hand outfit. This is from Salvation Army. And whenever I put together second-hand looks, Angelo, I dig through magazines, I look at what's current fall looks. And I was really inspired on this particular look by the latest Esprit catalog. Very young, very funky looking type of outfits, lots of color, unusual. You've got to be young to wear this, but I put this look together at Salvation Army for a total of $16.45.
Now you're saying the coat, the scarf, everything that she has
That's
on.
everything that she has on, except the scarf, and the gloves. Those came from Target. And her shoes, which are a knockoff, a copy of a more expensive shoe, but now selling at Gusini's for $13.88. So her outfit with the shoes is under $30.
That's
so
amazing.
It's a real fun thing to do, but you've got to steal ideas from those magazines in order to shop secondhand. Let's take a look at another option that you might not have thought about for this year. This outfit is from Kmart. And what's exciting here is that Kmart has become very successful in putting together their Jaclyn Smith celebrity line. So you're going to be able to put together a fall suit like this and spend $20 to $45 for separates that will all mix and match. Now, what I've done with this particular outfit is they have everything coordinated. So if you don't have a lot of imagination, no problem. You're going to be able to shop easy there. But in order to give it a more individual look, the model and I put together some things and took away some things. Now, this blouse, for example, this tuxedo blouse, came with, you know, the typical little tie at the collar. We decided, no, we wanted to look a little more high fashion, added a pin, added a different belt, gave it a more updated look, or let's say just a more fashionable look. So that's what I would do with the Kmart outfits. Let's take a look at our next model, because there's another possibility. If you're into real high fashion, designer, name brands, place to shop is the off-price retailers. Now, this suit is from TJ Maxx in St. Paul. All right, now, I can't mention the designer name on that because they've got a deal going with the retailer where they will protect the name to give you the discount. This outfit would normally retail for about, let me look, $190. You'll buy it off price for $99. So you will put together what would have been spending $220 on this entire outfit, silk blouse included, and shoes. You will instead spend $116. Save 50% at the off-price retailer.
Looks great.
Isn't that wonderful?
Really is nice.
Another outfit, and I think sometimes men don't realize that the off-pricers are also selling men's fashions. Now, this outfit, something that's interesting about TJ Maxx is that particular jacket is an Yves Saint Laurent. Now, I'm mentioning that because it's from a past season, but they'll sell it and give you a savings. That jacket regularly retailed for $200. You'll buy it at off price for $99.99. So you can see where you really are getting some savings. He's also wearing 100% cotton sweater. Regular retail on that was $67.50, $19 at the off price. And of course, Alexander Julian slacks that were $40 will be $20 at TJ Maxx. Good luck.
And I imagine this is something that you always have to keep going back and periodically checking in to see what they have that's new, that's
Every
in.
week, you've got to make a run, make a pass through the store because they'll get shipments in frequently. Now, this is something that happens in fashion. You will find an original look, and then you will find that a store will have a copy of it. And that's what you're seeing right here. But I bet, Angela, I want you to pick out which one of those outfits do you think is the original? Because the original sells for $20 more.
Oh boy, this is really tough.
I know, they are really close.
I'll say the one on the left.
Okay. The one closest to us?
No.
The other one. Okay, would the original please step forward?
Oh, fool me.
Isn't that something? Now, this outfit is from Hit or Miss, and what you're doing is you're buying their label, which they manufactured and made a copy of, and they're selling it for about $20 less than the actual original. And I think that's fun. That's what you want to look for this fall, is those knockoffs. Keep your eye out on those because they're going to save you some money.
That is amazing.
Isn't that fun? That's really great. You know, the only difference in that outfit is the padding in the shoulder was a little bit less. But otherwise, they were so similar. Now, this is our final models, and I just want to show you that a look that you can put together, very unusual, unique, avant-garde, is by shopping at one of our local designers' stores. It's called the Warehouse Club. 2 locations in the Twin Cities, one from Minneapolis and one in the Uptown area. Now, this outfit is a one-of-a-kind. It was designed by, and I'm just trying to find that, Rachel is wearing that, and it was designed by Barb Heinrich. That's 100% cotton, sells for $52, reasonably priced. The belt is all leather, also done by a local designer. That's $18. So you can see where you're going to get a high fashion look.